team is looking very good, balanced in every side, and very much pumped up to play our first game and go for the victory.
For you personally as well, considering your injury last season, and so how are you feeling physically and mentally?
I'm physically right now, it's like normal. Before injury, I feel the same, and now after the surgery, I'm all right and everything is going well. So looking forward to play my first game in front of the crowd again and giving all my best and everything I have for the team and for the logo. Thank you.
Questions?
Hi Ivan. Ivan, it's predominantly Kbfc fans, of course, that are going to be packing the stadium. So first of all, how does it feel being back playing in front of fans once again after the pandemic? And what would your message to them ahead of the first game and through the season be? Yeah.
Well, first of all, good afternoon to all of you. It's such a pleasure to see all of you today in the stadium. Well, like Jessel just said, after so long, the great feeling getting back to actually to the right situation, playing with together with the fans, together with the crowd, because football we play for the fans, and it will be such a pleasure and honor to be here tomorrow. So far everything's all right. We are happy with the pre-season period. We are happy with everything we achieved in the last couple of months. So we are very excited and ready for tomorrow's game. So let's hope that everything will be all right, and let's hope for the best.
And your message to them, Ivan?
Well, of course, we would like to see them tomorrow in the huge numbers, because even last year when we were playing without the fans, I must admit it was awful. It was really not nice playing in that kind of atmosphere. So this time it will be again a pleasure, and of course, like last year without them, this year, especially when we are playing our home games, we will give everything for the logo, for the badge we are wearing on our shirts. So and all together, then I think we can achieve nice things.
And lastly, Ivan, how are you looking at this season? Because last season was the first one that you had with the club. What are the objectives for this season now that you missed out on the title so narrowly last season?
Well, ISL is such a nice competition, because the fact that anybody can beat anybody. Last year, even if you look to our case, nobody expected us to reach the finals. And after such a long period of, such a dry period without any kind of huge positive results, we managed to have one nice season and reaching the finals where nobody expected to see us. So we proved that in ISL anything's possible. So this year I think that it will be quite the same, that we can see some surprises, we can see some disappointments. Of course, the teams who are capable to manage the season on a long term, because now it will be on a longer term as well. So these teams can hope to achieve nice things. This year will be completely different, because we will have playoffs of top 6. So again, it will be a moment how you will manage your season throughout next months, especially in the beginning, where all the teams will be fresh. Later on, when some of teams lose that freshness. So many of components this year will be different comparing to last seasons. So it will be interesting. I think it will be interesting, and again, the fact that anybody can beat anybody is such a nice thing in ISL. So again, with pleasure, we will be here.
Thank you, man.
Coach, given that you're in your second season as head coach, Kerala Blasters have never had a coach who's managed 2 back-to-back seasons. Does that sort of add to the pressure, given that you made the final last season for you?
Well, I think no, because it just proves that as an organization you work in consistency, you work with the process that you believe in, and you work in a project that everybody knows what he has to do. So now we have the consistency in the work. Players, they are adapted to the work. We are adapted to players. Like technical and medical staff, we have such a great cooperation. Then with the management, everything goes smoothly. So you know, when you work on the long term, especially seeing that process and the complexity of not only ISL, but as a club, that certain things you want to build up. So these things give you kind of confidence. The players, they feel good, they're confident. And then I was always saying that for us, there is no pressure, there is always a pleasure, because the players themselves and us, we are doing something that we love. So when you have that kind of atmosphere, when you have that kind of situation, so then the positivity and with the positive mindset, nice things can happen. So we believe in our objectives, we believe in our idea, so we will continue, we will start our season tomorrow, and we will see where it will take us.
Sure, good afternoon. Initial thoughts on East Bengal and their new coach, Stephen Constantine. You would have scouted them, you would have seen what they did in the Durant Cup. So, your initial thoughts on your first opposition, coach?
East Bengal had a couple of, let's say, less good seasons, and but it was the same case with Kerala Blasters last year. After such a dry period, you have new ideas, you have new motivation, you have new power, and then with the changes they had, I think that they showed in the Durant Cup that they can be one of the surprises. Of course, they have a good coach, they have a good team, and like I said, anybody can beat anybody in every game. Anything's possible in ISL. They're a good team, and of course, whoever thinks that it will be easy against East Bengal, they're wrong. You know, this is a good team, this is a good organization, so we have to be ready for tomorrow.
Hi, coach. Hi, coach.
Hello.
Last time we have released players, Spanish player, Alvaro Baca, and Argentinian player, okay. But this time, but this time we need to go players. So does this affect our game plan? What's your game plan?
Well, again, if we speak about those things in football, those things, they happen every time, worldwide. If you see any team worldwide, it happens all the time that the players, they're coming in, they're going out. So, and this is the unavoidable fact. Last year, I remember when we were starting creating the team and decided to change the whole foreign compartment. Of course, everybody was thinking, you know, why we are changing that, and you know, now the new guys were coming in last year. Everybody was a little bit skeptic, thinking, okay, who is Luna, who is Alvaro, who is Jorge. Yet those guys, they had the quality to prove on the pitch that they have the value for ISL. This year, what happened? Like again, the players, they're coming in, they're going out. So again, you have to manage those things as a club, as a technical staff, together with management. Again, now we have new players, new faces in-house. I'm very glad that these guys, they are first of all great human beings, that they adapted well to the environment, to the team, that they are well accepted by our players who are here on longer term already. And with all these things and positive mindset, I think that we can again achieve nice things. So, you know, these are the things, again, unavoidable transfer periods where the players, they're coming in, they're going out. So we are also glad for our former players, mentioned players, that they found their luck in some other clubs in ISL, that we can see them around the fields in India still. So of course, we were grateful that they were with us last year, they did a great job. So this year again, we have new faces, new ideas. So let's see what will happen now.
One more question. Last season, about the development players. Last season, we have formation have a great season. So this season, the development players have a great role. Give us nice, first year.
Yeah, but you know, all the young players, the moment they start playing, you know, this is part of their growing up, this is part of their development. And so throughout the whole seasons they will have in front of them in the future, this is the, again, unavoidable process of their life, of their future. So every season for them it's a new thing, every season for them it's a part of new knowledge. So this year for them it will be something new because they've never played in front of crowd in ISL. We have many young potential players, still development players who have still a right to play in young national selections, speaking about under 21, under 23, whatever it is. This is also one of the club's objectives, to develop those players, and not only mention players, but every other player, like they will have a chance to be there. This is the continuation of their process, like growing up. That's it. So we are very happy to have the team we have now, with all the players who arrived, with all the players who stayed. Okay, so we can mention many of them coming from I-League, coming from youth, so we are happy with the teams so far. So I think that this year there will be still, and again, some new faces that everybody will be happy with them. Well, you know, last year again, when we're going back to last year, again, many skeptic things with around were saying that Kerala Blasters cannot play competitive football without foreigner in a central midfield. Yet with our domestic players, let's say Indian players, we proved that it could be possible. And yet these guys like Jigson, Puitea, some other guys, they reached the level of national team. This year, we decided, speaking about foreign compartment, we decided to engage one player, foreign player in central midfield. So it gives you kind of new ideas, it gives you new possibilities, it gives you a new extra weapon that you can manage and mix during the games, during the competition. So this is something extra that we didn't have last year. So now this year we will see how it will look like. He's a quality player, he's a young guy, he still has to adapt a little bit to the environment, to the league, because it's something new for him here. But he's a good guy, he's a good player. I hope that you will enjoy looking at him. I didn't hear. Everybody is available. Everybody is available. So this week everybody was on the training. Actually, I have also to praise and be grateful for our technical and medical staff. Since we started this season, so we managed to have a great pre-season without injuries, without serious issues, especially speaking about muscle injuries. Our technical medical staff managed that on a perfect way. And so now me as a coach, I have this luxury problem, you know, everybody's available. So now I have to pick, you know, so everybody's there. Everybody's available for today's last training, everybody's there. Yeah, of course. We can expect anything tomorrow.
Coach, Stan Ryan from the Hindu. Coach, you're coming back home after 2 years, like, so, and you're coming back with the runner-up trophy, like, so does it put a lot more pressure on you? Like, that is one question. And a couple of players have left now. Some top players have left now, and new players have come in. Like, the new players, from what you've seen of them, do they look as good as the ones who have left?
Well, first of all, again, it doesn't add extra pressure, because you know, as a football player, you can ask also these boys, you know, when you start shooting the ball around your house with your father, with your brother, with your friends, you know, you start dreaming about playing in front of big crowds. You start playing in front, you start dreaming about playing in front of huge stadiums. This is part of your dream, this is part of your professional life as a football player. And these boys now, they're in a situation like, you know, we are part of one club with a huge fan base, and we are grateful for that. And then, speaking about situation, every day we have a smile because we are happy being together. We are happy having that positive mindset, positive atmosphere, and again, being grateful, being part of such a great puzzle as Kerala Blasters, playing for those fans and this community. Then the new players who arrived, they arrived for a reason. You know, they arrived for a great reason, because the club decided and said, these boys have quality. It doesn't matter if we speak about foreign players, domestic players coming from ISL, from I-League, from any other. So they have quality. And like you just said, every year as a fan, you identify with some players. And you identify, you find your idols, you find your, and you like watching them. And then the unavoidable fact, at one moment they go, but there are new faces. And then again, like it was the case last year, arriving with the new faces, new guys. Yet we had the chance again to identify with Jessel again, with some other players growing up, with new faces, with new foreigners, like it was the case with Luna, with Alvaro, with Jorge, who were performing well, with Marco, with all of them. And we were very grateful to have them. Now, again, this year, they're new faces, they're good players. First of all, they're good human beings, like I said, and we are grateful for that. So, I hope and I think that they have qualities to show some nice things this season and to be part of this nice Kerala Blasters.
Questions for Jessel. The atmosphere inside the stadium can be quite intimidating if you're the opposition, but it can be also intimidating for some of the players who are playing for Kerala Blasters who've never played inside the stadium. You've played here before. What's your advice to some of the new players, young players coming in about dealing with the crowd and dealing with that atmosphere?
I think so. When I played my first match, it was obviously the same for me as well. But I would say just play their game, be confident, because we'll be coming with confidence, and just play with confidence and with all the positive energy you have, and try to give your best, and whatever we have been training, try to implement on the game. That's it, and the crowd will be behind you till the 90 minutes.
आपका पहले फर्स्ट सीजन आईएसएल में तो अपने केरला ब्लास्टर्स को चूज किया तो केरला ब्लास्टर्स को चूज किया और ज्वाइन करने के बाद कोच ने क्या कहा कि आपका रोल के बारे में इसी
I mean, choosing Kerala Blaster was I think best decision because it's one of the best team in the country right now, and to be honest, coach is very frank, and he's always friendly and supporting everyone, especially the youngsters. So I hope we have a good season this year.
So your youth career was in East Bengal.
Yes.
So first match in East Bengal, what do you feel?
It will be a good feeling playing against them, but I hope we get the 3 points. But all the best to them as well. Thank you.
Sort of something similar to what University we have fans back. So how say motivating or intimidating is it?
No, it's very motivating. They have the best fan base in the country, so I hope they come in huge number tomorrow, and we'll make sure they have a good time watching us. So that's it. Thank you.
Coach, about other teams, which team do you think looks? About other teams, which team do you think looks strong? As per your reading, who are the tough guys this time?
Like every year, I think that again this year we will see some surprises. We will see one team who was not maybe last year top of the table that will surprise everybody. So then again, you always have contenders for a title. You always have our opponents as ATK, Mumbai City, Bengaluru, many of them every year organizing, constructing good team and fighting for a title, being among the first contenders for a shield and for a playoffs. So every year they have the same objective. They're going there again. From our perspective and our situation, we are the team that has to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves. We have quality. We showed last year that we can surprise anybody. So, and that with that quality and positive mindset, and especially with huge support we have, again we can achieve nice things. But speaking about many other things, there are many teams who are in front speaking about titles and everything. So we have to stay humble. We have to work hard. We know our position. We know who we are. We know what we can do, especially speaking about domestic games. And we want to achieve it. We want to be concentrated, focused on those things, and we want to achieve it. So let this season start, and then we'll see.
And about tomorrow's match, what do you think? What do you expect tomorrow?
Well, good game, good event, especially with a huge crowd coming for the first game after so long. And again, you know, when the game starts and the players, they are concentrated and focused on the things happening on the pitch, you're concentrated on the ball. In some occasions, you're not even aware what's happening all around you because your focus with adrenaline is on at the pitch. So I expect a good game. I expect both teams wanting to go for it, for all 3 points. And then, like I always, as a sportsman, I always like to say, like, let the better team win. So, you know, expecting to have a good game tomorrow, everybody motivating, and we'll see.
Coach, one more question. This time we have 7 Malayali players, including Sahal Abdul Samad, KP Rahul. So what is your expectation about the local boys, especially the match held at the home ground?
Well, you know, speaking of them, it is also kind of message that in all the community, all the organizations, speaking about Kerala as a football state, it is possible, you know, if you respect certain things, especially your youth programs and everything, there is possibility that you can reach also the first squad of Kerala Blasters. Just mentioning these boys who were playing also in the past for national teams, is still now playing for national teams, becoming important part of it. So, you know, I'm glad to see them. Not only them, but I'm glad to see local boys. I'm glad to see youngsters. I'm glad to see domestic players improving day by day. And such a great achievement, such a great pleasure for you as a coach. So, of course, I hope that they will confirm and repeat certain things from last season. And again, hope that they will show you that they can be even better.
Just one question. Can we expect the forward Srikut and the first 11?
Yeah, like I said, anything is possible because they showed even in the pre-season they are part of the team. You know, these young boys, they have quality. They're good guys. They have potential. They're quick. So of course, why not? You know, even last year we showed with some new names, some new guys that they can be a value of our team. So why not? Everybody's available. So.
Coach, what do you think of the change in the playoffs format? Like, that's one thing. Does it help teams breathe easier? Like, and also the matches from Thursdays to Saturdays, the weekend matches. Like, does it give you better gap like between matches? Like.
Yeah, of course, because from coaching perspective and from technical side, it's better because you have more time to practice, you have more time to recover, you have more time to train, and it gives you longer term in one season. If you just organize one tournament, like in a short term, and then first it changes everything. It changes the perspective and the way how you prepare in a pre-season. The moment you start, there is no more huge gap or space to train, to practice certain things. Then it is bad on a short term because the one moment you get injured, you're out. So the season for you is done. When the season is on a longer term, there is still possibility that you recover, you get back in the game. And that was the case last year. Jessel can say it. You know, the moment he got injured in the, I think, 11th game against Hyderabad, he was out till the end, and we were sorry about it. And it was kind of in January, you know. Rahul KP, he got injured in the first game. He got back in the semi-finals, and this was not nice. So on the longer term, the players get more space to improve, the players get more space to become better. Huge gaps, not huge, but big gaps between games. It gives you more time to practice, to recover your bodies, and it gives you possibility to be ready for every other game. So from that perspective, it's nice to have that longer term competition. So I think it will be more interesting. Because all the teams will be ready, and then the top 6 now this year as a format of playoff will be more interesting because more teams will be fighting on a longer term till the end to get that spot in top 6. Some teams last year, speaking about top 4, some teams last year already in January, they knew that they're out and they started playing casually, and then it was not the same from the let's be correct perspective. It was not the same last year playing against one team in November, December, and then in January, because in November, December they were still were going for 100%, and then in January they were like almost out. Some of players, when they get injured, you're out. Your team becomes like weaker, and then it was not the same. Now, on the longer term, it is better.
Coach, a lot of the young Indian players, Sahal, Jackson, Hormipam had a great season last year. But we've seen with Indian players, there's this graph where they peak and then they drop down. How do you sort of get them to be consistent so that the national team benefits in the long run?
Well, first of all, of course, with the longer term season, that's the number one thing. The other thing is that these boys, they're committed to football. They're committed to their job. They're so professional, and every player during one career makes that click in the head. Every player realized that doing this, it's your life, and then you have to understand that you must be consistent in order to reach higher levels. So Jigson, Sahal, some other players, they are already on a list of national teams, and they are performing good in national teams. So they understand now, and they have more responsibility. It's responsibility for themselves, for the environment, families and everything. And when you become such a professional, then you just continue, this is your life. So they understand, they know that their consistency in this season will put them on a map of Indian football that it can last for a long time. So all the players who understand, then they had a great season. They had a great season and have a great career. So they're conscious about that, they're responsible, and we're glad to have them.
So just kind of coach's perspective on the extended season. As a player, how does this help? What is the perspective that you get? Okay, fine, I have a long season to play with.
Yeah, it's very good, like coach said, because after every match, you need time to recover from the tiredness and the fatigue. So I think so it will help us to recover very well and give our best in the coming matches. And also I think so if there is any injuries, it will take time, and then it will give us time to recover well, and then we can have a good match.
Ivan, I want to ask you about impact of COVID on players. You've been a player before and now a coach. 2 years players have been locked up. You are playing in a centralized venue, approaching, you have a similar approach. You're going to play in a ground which you know very well. Now, you're going to be traveling away. Venues like Jamshedpur, Guwahati, which can take half a day to travel. How big a test is of mentality here? When you've suddenly been locked up and now you're free. You're going to play in different conditions every week. Has it impacted players at all, or are you looking forward to, giving them extra motivation to, going back to old ways?
Well, from technical perspective, your preparation of those games doesn't change. So you prepare your games, and now it depends if you play home or away games. Of course, there is a travel moment. Sometimes you have to make a trip on a longer term. But as a former football player, I know the feeling. As a coach now, even the players, they know. You are used to get into the bus, get into the plane, go to the airport, go to the hotel. We are used to it. So, and you accept the fact that this is football. This is your life. You play a game, you sleep in a hotel, you go, you take a trip. This is it. So from technical side, everything stays the same. For preparation, of course, depending where you have to play, depending on the weather conditions, depending, the other day we were speaking in our hotel after one training. I remember me as a player playing in one country and then having that situation, playing home games on 20 degrees, then getting into plane and going for away game on minus 15. Nobody asks you if you can do it or not. That's your job. That you're a professional, you have to adapt, you have to do it. Going there, playing in the snow, minus 15, get the trip, get the bag. So this is it. So with these kind of things, you have to deal as a club, as a football player, and this is what makes you better. When you go through all those things and you see that you're capable of doing that, then you get more confidence, you become better, you improve, and then later nothing can surprise you. You're ready for any other situation. So from that part, there is no worries.
But some of the youngsters have not seen that in the last 2 years who've just come up.
Great. This is there is always first chance in your life to see certain things. So this will be their first chance to see that, to experience, and that will make them better for the future. So we are not worried about it. We are there to explain it.
Taking the last question.
We will never, me as a coach, I accept the fact that these guys, they're trying to do their best. They're all good guys, they're good people, and this is also the specific job. So this year we had, last week I was flying to Mumbai for 2 days on a meeting with ISL organization. And the nice thing that this year the ISL organized, and all the referees now are on a full-time job, professionals. It's been now a while that there is also the former very famous English referee who is also on a full-time, being part of education program, correcting referees, improving them and making that next step to the next level, which is VAR technology and goal technology, which will have to come to ISL as well. So again, this year, it might happen that it can happen again, not only to us, but many teams were not happy with those decisions last year. That's part of the game. We have to deal with that. And I always as a coach say, I can never lose my temper or lose my nerves about the things that I cannot control. So these are the things, these guys, they have to make decisions in a certain situations. It's also not easy. So we, from our technical side, we are also there to work, to cooperate together with them, to help, whatever, to, that Indian football ISL looks better. So I hope that this year they will make the step of improvement, because it's a normal part of any life that you want to improve things. So I hope that this year it will be, step to improvement for the future. So let's hope and we'll see.
Just last one on the night of the white shirt,
Of course. Couple of them now. Yeah. Everything's ready. Thank you guys.
All the best, coach.
Thank you.